Good morning, good morning. I hope this finds you safe and well and that the weather isn't too annoying. And the good news is it has rained overnight. Why is this good news? Because it's keeping everything nice and damp on the moorland. And actually, a couple of the fires that we could see from our bedroom window in Derbyshire and near Manchester have now actually gone out. The rain has taken them out. So good news all round. And if you're down south and in a warmer area, I hope you're managing with it all. So that's the first thing that we have for you is good news on the weather front. Interesting news this week. I came across something very strange in the quango world. Now, I know you're not supposed to call them quangos anymore, but I still think of them as quangos because it's a great name, quasi-autonomous non-governmental organizations. In other words, they take taxpayers' money and they spend it. Yes, right. So this one is called the Office for Environmental Protection. And that's what I'm into. I'm into environmental protection. How come I've never come across it before? And the answer is because it's not to do with industry. And by the way, I'm just putting the link to it below there. It's to do with keeping government bodies and some other public bodies like the water companies honest. It's got enforcement powers, for example. And it can say, hang on, government, you've not met this environmental target, which is a bit silly, really, because the government doesn't really have any direct involvement in the environment. It's people like us in industry who are actually on the front line of preventing pollution, etc. But we are where we are. However, a thought occurs. Would they be able to do something about the dreadful deadlines and delays at the Environment Agency, where we're under deadlines to put things in, and then they're not under any kind of deadlines to actually have a proper serious turnaround? Have you noticed something interesting when the EA are attacking those deadlines for permit applications, for example? Yeah, they're choosing the quick wins. They're looking at the small permits for I don't know, so the waste industry that are relatively small. It's the quick wins that they're knocking off. Word on the street is that some of the big applications for example, new chemical processes are still taking an awful long time to get through. So it might turn out to be a good quango, or it might just be yet another waste of taxpayers' money. Time will tell. And they've been going since 2021. So either I have not been paying attention or they have been keeping a low profile. Anyway, that's it for me for the UK. Let us have a think about what's going on in the EU. Now, we've got a couple of things going through at the moment that are fairly large and fairly horrible. There's extended producer responsibility, but there's also PPWR, which is the packaging waste responsibility type thing. And if you are selling anything into the EU, you need to be tracking what's going on with your packaging and taking it back. And ultimately, they're going to bring in a deposit scheme. Well, why the hell did they not just bring in a deposit scheme first, which would be the quick way of doing it? Why is there all this bureaucracy around it all? My goodness, what a bureaucracy we have. We've got a really scary article from our good friend Stephen Brennan at Foresight, and he walks you through the life of a package. And it's a simple plastic bottle. And you might think, well, that's nothing much. One bottle carries 37 verified obligations across 7 components, 10 handovers, and 5 regulatory clocks. As he says, your portfolio is not one bottle. And this is just packaging. How the hell do they expect industry to deal with this? On what planet is tying everybody up in unnecessary red tape actually going to solve anything in the way that being practical and setting up recycling schemes would? Words fail me. Not for the first time with the EU, and I dare say not for the last time. But anyway, that's That's the EU side of things. By the way, if you are interested in more information in all of this, then you can find out more on our website for the weekly email newsletter, or you can sign up for the weekly email newsletter, and I will pop the link below this video now, because remember, this video is just a couple of snippets from it, and we can't go into the same detail that we can on an email. So, what have we got for our funny video? Which is a bit that everybody likes, of course. And the answer is, it's still very British problems. Hang on, just type and talk at the same time, sorry. Can't spell when I look away. Very British problems, and it's a live, so-called live chat. And I will pop that there. So, yes, that's it from me for today. Whatever you're doing, have a lovely day. I hope everything is going well in your world, because there is a lot going wrong at the moment, but hopefully for you personally, things are going well. And I look forward to chatting to you again next week, if we're spared. Take care of yourselves. Bye.